Hello, I am Felipe Pérez. Welcome to Felper's Technology, the channel that will guide you through the world of technology with a wide variety of tutorials. Your computer has encountered an error that prevents it from restarting? Don't worry, we are going to fix it. I will guide you through the repair process step by step. In this tutorial, I will show you the process for recovering Windows. It is important that if you have this type of problem, you watch the entire video, because if you don't, it might not work for you. So, one of these two processes I'm going to show you will work. This computer won't boot. It gets stuck in a loop trying to repair itself without any progress, whether you click restart or not. The issue persists, preventing access to Windows. If you look closely, it remains on the same screen, indicating there is a problem with Windows that needs restoring. After a few seconds, it restarts and attempts the Windows repair again. But as you can see, it's just the same loop. I will click on Advanced Options to perform a repair using the tools provided by Windows. First, I'll select Troubleshoot and then navigate to Advanced Options. Here, you'll see several choices including Repair, Startup Settings, Command Prompt, and Uninstall Updates. To address the issue, I need to choose System Restore. This will allow me to use a restore point, which is a safe backup of a working Windows configuration. I will use this backup to restore Windows to a point when it was functioning properly. I have two restore points available. One is labeled while the other simply says guest. I will select the first one to restore my system to a previously functioning state. It's important to note that if I install any applications after the restore point was created, they will not be present after the restoration files. So any application installed after the restore point will need to be reinstalled. If no application were added since then, everything will stay the same. I need to enter the password for the restore point for security reasons. These steps help prevent unauthorized access that could lead to unwanted changes. Once I've entered the password, I click Continue, and the restoration process will begin. You'll see a screen indicating that the system files and system restore. I'll just click Next. Notice that the two restore points I have were created at different times. One at 3 p.m. and another earlier in the morning. I've configured this computer to create restore points automatically. So I'll select the most recent one and click Next. Since the computer appears to be functioning normally, the system is confirming that it will restore the C drive. So I'll select it, even though it's the only option, and click Finish. A warning will remind me not to interrupt the process, as it could jeopardize the restoration. Therefore, I recommend ensuring your computer is plugged in, especially if it's a laptop, to avoid losing power during the restore. I'm confident in this machine, so I select Yes. The system will allow restore the necessary files, and I need to be patient, and this can take some time. Depending on your computer specifications, it might take anywhere from a couple of hours to up to 5 hours. I'll check back once it's done. Great! The restoration completed in 6 minutes, and everything seems fine so far. I click Restart. However, as you can see, the same problem persists. It looks like we'll need to explore another options, as Windows seems to be damaged. Next, I'll try alternative version of System Restore to see if it allows me to restore my system. I'll go back to Advanced option, select Troubleshoot, then Advanced option, and choose System Restore. Again, I'll enter the same user credentials, click Continue, select Next, and take for an earlier restore point this time. I'll click Next. Once more, since it's also from C drive, I can proceed. Let's give it about 5 more minutes. The system has finished restoring again and reports everything is fine. I try restart one more time. Unfortunately, nothing has changed. It seems things are getting more complicated. So I'll back up my files before proceeding any further. Since the files are on the C drive, I want to ensure they are safe before I attempt to reinstall Windows, as formatting the disk could result in data loss. Do you know what happens if you forget to like my tutorial? YouTube technology algorithm validate the videos. If you like them, you keep them alive and help them reach more people. If not, they disappear. Don't let this tutorial die, give it a like and leave a comment. Thank you. To back up my files, I use a USB drive that contains a small operating system. I've already plugged in the USB, which will allow me to access my files. I'll boot from the USB and use a lightweight version of Windows XP, which, although old, it's still useful for backups. The USB drive is something I created to help access computers that won't boot properly, saving time on file recovery. You can also connect an external USB drive to connect backups. With the mini operating system running, I can open a file explorer and see all drives, including the C drive where my files are stored. I've successfully backed up my files. As you can see, issues like this can happen to anyone. Now I'll proceed with restoring the computer. First, I need to remove the USB drive to prevent it booting again. Once I've done that, I'll continue with the restore. You might see the error reappear because I only back up my information. I'll wait for the computer to finish restarting. It's now in the diagnostic phase. I navigate back to Advanced option and select Troubleshoots. Here, I see an option labeled Reset this PC, which will essentially reinstall Windows while keeping my files. There are two options. The first is to keep my files and only reinstall applications. The second will remove everything, including Windows and personal files. I want to try the options to keep my files. This will remove applications and configurations, but preserves my data. I'll choose the first option. Select my user and enter my password to confirm. Next, I click Continue. A new screen prompts me to choose between downloading from the cloud or using the local computer. I'll select from this computer, since it contains a safe restoration image. Now we just need to be patient. When it's done, I'll let you know. The system will instruct me to reinstall the computer as part of the process. Remember, the duration of this procedure can be based on your computer's model. It might take around 10 minutes for faster machines or several hours for slower ones, depending on the specifications. At this point, the Windows installation process is underway, so we'll continue waiting. The process has finished, and Windows is starting up. Let's see if I manage the reinstallation without losing my information. I can see both my user and the guest account on the left side. I log into my account. Great! Windows is finishing the configuration. Fantastic! Windows has booted up successfully. Let's check if I have my information. Although, as you saw, I backed it up, but still, I checked the C drive. I should have the files I backed up. Perfect. Here is one. Here is the other. The files were backed up just in case. And it worked. Notice that what I did was reinstall Windows while keeping my files. And there they are. It's always important that when you do this, you back up your information first. Because if this process doesn't work, then you would lose your information and that will cost you a lot. Always remember to keep a backup of your data in case you encounter issues like mine. Even as technician, I face similar challenges. The entire process of reinstalling Windows without losing my data took about half an hour, so it was quite efficient. Now, I just need to check if another application like Office are still installed. I suspect they aren't, since the reinstallation focused on the operating system while retaining my files. I need to reinstall Office and any other application I had on this computer. If you ever encounter a problem that leads to a blue screen and prevents you from booting, now you have a clear plan to follow. Thanks for watching.